You ready? We're on.
Yeah.
Hello. We're online. Hello, everybody. Can you hear us? Can you hear us? Who's checking the chat? I can't see the chat, so. Oh no, we can't see the chat. Okay, well, we're just going to carry on, assuming you can hear us. And if you can't hear us, we'll find out in a minute, and then we'll switch it off. I think Jenny had it on her phone, so. Anyway, we're here in Paris at Quantic's office. Thank you so much, Guillaume, from Quantic. We've just had a tour of the amazing behind the scenes of Detroit, making you all very jealous. And that's why we're late, because also we forgot to set up the streaming laptop right. Sorry. So we're using a internal camera on a little MacBook, so sorry if the sound quality is bad. Anyway, we're here in Quantic and our minds have been blown. We saw some motion capture being recorded. It was amazing. Thanks again, Quantic. And I have hair growing. And I thought we could introduce everyone who's still here in Paris. Even more people back home in Media Molecule made the game Dreams possible. Well, we've got a few people left, so I thought we could quickly introduce people. And we also have a special guest with us who's going to then ask Mark some questions while we play through the game. So, without further ado, let's start with Anton. Anton, do you want to say hello?
Hello.
There's a little mic, so you might want to...
Oh, yeah. Hello, I'm Anton. I worked on The Move and Morpheus, and now I'm working with Alex and everybody.
And what did you do on the Dreams Paris demo? The interface.
It's all a blur. Yeah, basically the interface that Liam and I worked on. So the bubbles and... Actually, we didn't show too much stuff. We showed more behind closed doors.
You'll see more of Anton's
Yeah, it's more the
work
create stuff. Like, the thing that created the demo is essentially...
Yeah, you'll see more of that today. So that's Anton. Mark, do you want to say hello?
Bonjour, hello. Where am I looking for?
Yeah. What do you do?
I don't function very well at the moment. I mean, it's kind of broken up, but I do lots of little things. I like to stick my finger in every pie, but mostly responsible for kind of design and trying to sort of hold it all together.
And you were on stage playing?
Yeah,
so
I was steering the demo.
Yeah, live. It was a real live demo. Mark didn't mess up and didn't jump off the platform at the end like you were threatening to.
Yeah, I wish I would have done that.
I'm glad you didn't. Right, okay. Let's see. I'm going to hide my special guest, so I'm going to rotate this way. Right, here we have Liam.
Yep, I've got slightly speak for sound. Probably that.
Yeah, loudly.
Yep. I'm Liam. I'm a programmer, gameplay, UI-ish type programmer, working with Anton to do the editor tools and make those work in play mode, so you can stamp down all the trees that you saw Mark placing in the demo. Yeah. That's
cool. Next up we have Kareem. Say hello, Kareem.
Hello. I'm Kareem. What do I do? I draw a lot of pictures, and I'm the art director, and we've been very excited to finally show our baby the project, and today hopefully we will show you more insight into our very expressive, exciting stuff.
Cool. Costa, you can go next. Go on, get in there.
Hello, I'm Konstantin. I'm an assistant producer here at Media Molecule.
Well, not here, we're in Quantic Dream.
Yeah, well, this is like Mini Molecule.
Mini Molecule in Quantic.
Yeah. And I help facilitate things.
Cool.
Stuff.
He keeps us all in line. Who's up next? Come on, Siobhan.
Hi, I'm Siobhan, and I'm a cat herder. Basically, my job. I'm wearing some cats, dressed up like a cat last night.
Have you got cats on?
I've got cats on today. But yeah, basically my job is to make sure we finish things. So yeah, that's really easy at Media Molecule.
Go on, Alex. Up next, we have Alex. You may know her in the community. If not, you will know her soon.
My name is Alex. I work with Jenny on some of the community stuff. I'm Jenny. Hello. Hello. Hi. We organised the very first Dreams community meetup this week at Paris Games Week. Awesome. Lots of amazing people came. It's one of many, many, many more that are going to happen in the next year. So many more to come. Yeah. Stay in touch. You'll be at one very soon.
Okay. And then our special guest we have here.
Hey guys. I'm Ivor. Basically, you know me, I'm the guy, Stampy, who created those analysis videos, which Media Molecule liked, so I was just strolling around Paris and met these guys, so why not? They invited me here, so, well, Anyway, I have lots of questions, so I hope that some of those questions you are also having in mind. Also, I would like to, I mean, all these other streams, I was like on the other side, like you, watching here, so it's a bit strange for me. But I would like to say a big hi to the Dream Bubble community. It's a great community. Special thanks for creating the website and everything. And everyone who is still not part of it, please come join the community, because the more there are people discussing dreams, creating work and everything, the better it is. So basically, yeah, that's it. And I can't wait to ask more questions and to find out more about dreams.
Cool, and thank you.
I love you.
Yeah. So we had this idea. Yeah. So we had an idea, and poor Ivo had to cancel his train, and he's jumped through some hoops, and he's like, you know, going home an extra day late just so he can do the stream for us, which is great. And we thought maybe he could just sort of interview Mark while Mark plays a little bit of the stage demo, but you've already seen that, so we won't stay on it too long. And then maybe Kareem will just go into full Kareem mode and create something, and maybe we can even take some suggestions from the stream, and we can just chat with you guys while we're doing it. Kareem works best when he's just in the flow, so hopefully he'll get in the flow state.
Yeah,
and
I'm very inspired being here in Quantic Dreams.
Yeah, cool. So it's really early code. One thing I just want to remind everyone is dreams that we're showing. We are now switching mode. Media Molecule is coming out of its shell, and we're showing you everything. But that's flip side of that. The deal we make with you is that we also means we show you unfinished things. So if it crashes, or if you see some strange looking things, or some bad user interface, or something that looks bad, don't panic. It's not the finished game. It's really early stuff. It's really early code. And so yeah, we're showing it to you, as they say in English, warts and all. It's a bit messy, but it's improving massively fast. And if you stay with us for our streams in coming weeks, hopefully you'll be with us on the journey. And so forgive the horrible mess ups. I could almost say a naughty word. The F-ups that will probably happen. It's not Kareem's fault. It's not Mark's fault. It's the code. It's Liam's fault. It's all Liam's fault. Right. Okay. Now let's get on with it. Let's point the camera at the TV. The Quantic have kindly given us the world's largest television. You can't see it, but that's about 900 inches of massive TV. Yeah, it's bigger than life, basically. Let's get it in shot.
Is it going to pick up our...
Maybe we should cut the lights. Is that... Is there a reflection? Okay, is everyone happy on the screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Guys, you're going to have to talk nice and clear.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe, okay, so I mean, the first thing you showed at the demo at Paris Games Week was Imp. So I guess you decided finally to show us the final version of how this character will look like. I mean, like 3 months ago at E3, we saw a little bit different Imp look. And the biggest innovation is you added this like antenna to his head, which I noticed is like. So I'm wondering, can you elaborate a bit on this design?
Okay, so the Imp is obviously it's your avatar. It's the thing that you take with you everywhere in dreams, but it's essentially a very kind of cute and posh cursor. Is what it is. So obviously we wanted it to be cute and get it to do all the expressive things, but at the same time it needs to be useful as a cursor. So when we're using any interface or pointing to something in the world, we needed to have a stick on it essentially, so that you can point to things without the actual imp getting in the way. And also just from a kind of design point of view, we felt like it represented an imp is like this little ball of creativity, and it's kind of symbolic of the sort of the classic light bulb above the head idea. So this is where you channel your ideas through. And actually, if you watch very closely, it's very subtle, but you see there's like a light inside the imp. And it's got a slight heartbeat on it. Very subtle, probably too subtle at the moment. You can see it's like, so this is a little ball of creative energy that kind of is funneled out.
Yeah, I mean, what I like about this design, because in the previous version, I think when you showed it like in the first stream, it was not, like just this bubble,
Just a
and
ball.
yeah, when you grab the like objects, it felt like a mouse cursor. You know, there was no interaction, and the first thing you showed was like those objects, and when you grabbed it with like those antenna, his like antenna stretched, was all wiggly and stuff like that. I mean, it reminded me of the Segway's arms. You know, when they grabbed objects in the game, they somehow stretch their hands and stuff like that.
So yeah, well, so that whole kind of stretchy thing is like one of the really important things for us that we want to keep when we're interacting in a world like this. Is the one-to-one motion, so that when if I move left, it will move left. If I move right, it will move right.
Mm.
And there are some games that have kind of tried to use sort of motion capture and things like this to open the door handle, but the thing where they would fall down is you grab the door handle and turn it, and the thing that's representing you in the world would have to stay fixed to the door handle even though you're possibly moving off. So this is a way of making sure that we keep the one-to-one thing, but I can still convey grabbing things that have got like a fixed axis. So if I up this thing that's heavy here.
Yeah, that's the first thing I noticed here, that objects had a different weight to them, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, and that is probably like some kind of physics engine, and I mean, it was probably important for you to point out that you can define different weights, and it was interesting to see how this character somehow like struggles to pull this like heavier object.
Exactly. I mean, and in the content that we make, you know, the initial adventure, we'll have some areas where you need to invite friends if you want to complete them. I mean, you'll be able to get through the whole thing on your own, but we did that in Little Big Planet actually. We've got these little side areas where you need 2 or 3 people. So then maybe there's like a really heavy door, you need to call up your friends and all like heave away. You'll notice as well that he sort of squashes against things in the world.
Yeah, it gives life to him.
Just to give it
it's cool. I mean,
want this really touchy-feely kind of tactile kind of thing going on.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this part where it's squashes was not evident, but I definitely like how it interacts with the world. You move it, and it's it's awesome how it changes and adapts.
But crucially, I'm always, whatever movement I do with my hands is always going to be visualized on the screen, irrespective. Like,
so you're moving it like with sticks or with motion?
This is literally using the camera here at the moment. So I'm literally just moving my hand around. But if you haven't got a camera, then you use the gyros.
Yeah.
So it becomes more like a pointer kind of thing. And it's obviously a very natural thing to do. You don't need to explain to anyone how it works. So opening the door is, and that's the thing you can see, like the stretchiness means that I can still keep my one-to-one movement like this.
Yeah.
But the thing that I've actually grabbed is obviously on a fixed hinge. So
people asking if you need the camera to play the game.
No.
Ask a question.
Oh, so there's a question that's just come through about, do you need a camera to play the game? And the answer is no. What you need is a PlayStation 4 and a DualShock 4. That's all.
That's awesome. I mean,
we demoed it with the camera because it is a little bit better. But the thing is.
But what are the differences in like functionality with having the camera and not having the camera?
Okay, so the thing with the camera is that you can describe a position and an angle all in one step very easily. If you don't have the camera, then what we do is we use the gyros to describe the position, a bit like the Godlight in Tearaway. So it becomes more like pointing at a place on the screen, and if you want to rotate, we use the touchpad.
Yeah.
So it's something that you can still get very.
So same functions can be made with or without camera. It's just like different inputs you're making. I mean, that's great. So those people who.
And the thing with camera as well that you get is the Z positioning, so in and out, which you don't get with just using gyros up and down. But there we use like the stick to go with that. But the thing is, in the I'd say 99% of the gameplay things that you come up with, you don't need to worry about going in and out. You'll notice that when I pick up this block, for example, let's put it over there. Okay, I'll show you in the next scene. Let's just move the character over there, for example. So to possess this character or to grab an object, I don't have to be in the exact right position like that.
Yeah,
I've just got to be in the right 2D position.
Ah.
So I just go, even from here, I'm hovering over it.
Yeah, that simplifies
So
everything.
That's
Cool.
why it works.
Yeah.
Because that's actually really hard to get that exact depth perception into a flat image. So.
And most of the time, I mean, you'll be wanting to pick up exactly what you are seeing, so it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so let's just cover some other part with this character in. So one other aspect of his which you showed was basically the emotions, and like as I'm talking now, I'm seeing. I mean, even on the on the demo, like it's excellent. I mean, it's even better than in LBP, like the mouth movement. As I'm speaking, he's also like opening this mouth and has this life to it. I'm totally.
So obviously, if you go when you play online with friends, you meet other imps, when you chat to them, chat will be coming out of their mouth. And the fun thing is that you can just draw with the touchpad, whatever shape mouth you like.
And it speaks, yeah. That's awesome. Then you just scared. Yeah, that's one. Yeah, that's good. The eyebrow. Yeah, I noticed. Or do you have to press something for eyebrows? Or
it just detects that you've got two fingers on the touchpad, and then you can just sort of do it quick.
And the eyes, how do they become like? They seem like you see scarier.
That's
how do they?
That's based on the angle of the eyebrows at the moment. So you can see if I put one eyebrow in. Oops. So one eyebrow in like this. It's literally related to that. But I mean, what we haven't shown, and we won't show it here, is that you'll also get a customised. So
you change color.
So you can change the colour of it. Obviously, the sort of, you see, this one's quite a fluffy, hairy one.
Yeah.
You can choose like different kind of textures. There if you like to be like.
I guess you can change the light color of the antenna.
Yeah. So the light colour is actually. It looks very bright white there, but it's actually a very subtle blue. It's based on the colour of the controller that you're using, just to put the colour of his skin, you'll be able to change. And we haven't really sort of dived too deep into that yet, but it's clearly something that people are going to want to get.
Okay, awesome. I mean, this imp definitely has potential to like. I mean, people are going to be like watching it most of the time when they're creating, like, or when they're not in the sculptures. So it's great to see that it has so much possibilities of expression, and that's the thing I noticed. I mean,
and there's this as well actually, which we didn't show a lot of, which is
the graffiti tool,
which again is like another nice way of kind of communicating if you're playing with other people, or it's just fun actually, just to do silly things like.
Yeah, this is awesome.
For the so so obviously we support voice chat, but if you've got a keyboard plugged in, then why not? I mean the idea really is that we'll support everything. Like you'll see Kareem using the moves when he sculpts because that's what he likes using. But everything that you see him doing, you can also do with the DualShock. We'll also support, phones and companion apps and things like this.
Wow, that's awesome.
But the really important thing is that you get the meat of Dreams and the full experience just with your standard PlayStation.
Is it easier to sculpt with the camera?
Is it easier to sculpt with the camera, was the question, or does it make any difference at all?
I think it depends on what kind of sculptures you make. Like if you want to do something that's very, like you'll see some techniques that Kareem uses, and the kind of techniques that he uses do really take advantage of the camera. Because I'm speaking for him, so he might correct me, but there's this like Rodin style that I would call it, which is very much kind of like slowly building a sculpture up and kind of placing lots of edits. But there's another type of editing which I really love, which you could make just by placing 3 or 4 simple primitives. And because of the way that they can interact with blending and things, you can get these really simple stylized characters just by placing a few cubes. And you could do that with a Commodore 64 joystick, really. There's nothing's, you're not shut off from anything based on your controller. But the cool thing about the sculpting tools and all of the create tools is that they're very simple, but they've got the depth again, Kareem will talk about this more than me, but they've got the depth of something like a pen or a pencil.
Yeah.
It's very simple to use, but you can actually get skillful at them, and you can learn techniques. So if you're using a camera, you'll probably learn different techniques than if you're not using a camera.
Yeah, I think one thing Mark always reminds me of is like different people in the molecule actually prefer different controllers. So Kareem is like really into the move, but actually most of our level designers, for example, when they're building gameplay, they massively prefer the DualShock. And I think the interesting thing is it's like you're going to get different styles of dreams out of different types of people. So if you don't have a move, don't worry about it, because you'll be able to do everything, and then you'll find your style. And then if you want to try it out with the move, it might change your style, but you might get new ideas. So it's funny that, like, because Peter, for example, is not here, is one of the level designers. I don't think I've ever seen him use anything other than DualShock. He loves it.
I mean, it's great to know that one tool, I mean, DualShock can be equally used, I mean, by the developers. That brings, like, optimism that
exactly.
tool can be used.
Talk louder.
I'll talk louder, sorry. So, yes, I can't remember what the original question was, but hopefully that answers it.
Why don't you do some possession?
Yeah.
Okay, now, I don't know if you have answer to this question, because it could be, I mean, a bit problematic at this point. But basically, what I saw so far in what you have shown is that only at the E3 demo, only the guy sitting on the chair had any type of like facial movement with his eyes.
Okay.
So I'm just wondering, are you? I mean, I know this is like a huge opportunity, but how will you address this, or is there even possibility to like add any type of facial animation to this character?
To the bipeds.
But to any type of characters, I mean, you're probably investigating this.
So with the biped character, which I think Kareem is going to show, we're not going to show that? Oh, okay, well this character anyway, the way you design these, the way you make these characters, is you can start with a plain biped, or you can start with an existing one. But the point is you can very easily change its proportions just by grabbing things and stretching them, which, you know, Kareem is always running into his 99% of character design anyway. So that's all really easy. And that works out of the box. And on the face, we'll have a solution for eyes, probably a simple flappy mouth or something.
Yeah, that's awesome. When talking also when people...
So that we have to work out what's that key breakdown of the base skeleton. But the key thing is that we're also facilitating adding your own bits onto that. So that doesn't work at the moment, but for example, the giant Max, his ears in the demo were quite stiff, but what's going to happen literally in the next week or two is we're going to have the ability to add on things that have got like more secondary motions, so we're going to have flappy ears, and the cool thing is you'll better set those things up to respond in whichever way you want. So if you can make it so that when you possess the character, it's using the default control scheme that we've set up, you can supplement it with your own things. So you'd be able to say that when you press a particular button, then, you know, the Android eye flips around or something like that. So yeah, it's going to be very powerful.
I mean, probably we have seen at the latest part of the demo how people were interacting, like some people were in imps and you were in the sculpture.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's cool that this possibility that even the sculpture itself like will have the possibility to open and close mouth basically when people will be talking. Like also like to open mouth to correspond with what persons are saying.
The thing is, we know from experience that even if we didn't do that, someone would find a way to do it anyway. So we might as well. And we want to do. Obviously, we want to do that. But I mean, this biped code that you're seeing has literally only gone in the last couple of weeks, and this is really only scratching the surface of how cool it's going to be. And yeah, obviously.
But you know what I like about this fact? I mean, this character, and you stress the fact that it's so. Exactly. I mean, it's so emotional. Just the movement by itself. I know in all those games, I mean, you all have the control like of the movement, like left, right, up, down, and it's like directional. And for example, it's always funny to me when people want to express like joy in other games. They jump, like they just press X and start jumping. But here, I mean, you're expressing all wide ranges of emotions. Like you can be subtle with it.
And you can be silly as well. That's the key thing. That's what I really love about it. This is the kind of thing that I would. Yeah, at the moment we've just put some basic we put this basic control into the arms just for the Paris demo, but actually the next step with that would be that so when I'm moving this character, it's like I'm controlling its kind of torso, if you like. But you can what we're going to put in is that you can switch to controlling just the hand or just the head. So I could actually can't do it now, but if I switch to puppeteering the hand, and suddenly I'm leading the character by the hand, so I'll be able to obviously describe any hand motion that I like.
I've got an Alex info blast as well. So loads of people on Twitter since the demo have been asking 2 questions over again. So Mark, you can answer them, but I'm going to ask them on behalf of lots of people. The 2 questions I keep getting are: can you make dreams where you have to possess a character or a vehicle? In other words, can you make a dream where it's always a race or always a character? That's question one.
Absolutely.
Question one. And question 2 is: in that case, can you use characters to pick things up? So, like in the demo in Paris, we always use the imp to interact with the world.
Yep.
So there you go. That's my 2.
Yeah. Okay. So, so the first question, yes. If there's any Little Big Planet fans out there, you may remember the direct control seat, for example. Similar kind of philosophy to that. So if you want, you can make a dream where your imp automatically docks or possesses into a vehicle at the beginning of the level, and you wouldn't even notice it. So as far as you're concerned, you come into this dream and you're already steering a car or flying an airplane.
Yeah, I mean that's important for some people who just don't want to okay, I don't want him to be shown. And that's great.
I mean, at its root, underneath all of the kind of magical adventure that we're going to put this on, it is actually a very flexible game creation tool. Clearly, people want to make games where you go in and you've just got a particular vehicle and that's it. So yes, absolutely, that's important. Can you slap me?
Very important LBC.
So I mean, we're going to have a lot of fun with the pure interactions for a start.
Well, that was actually what I had to last week. You've got to be able to do imp fighting.
Yeah, so I mean, if you're using the move controllers, your imp's stick becomes a lot longer to represent the thing, and we're already going to sort of do a lot of fencing in the office with that. But yeah, there's we're going to have a lot of fun with making it so that if you're actually interacting with another imp, we'll make them squash up against each other to snuggle and do all that kind of thing.
I noticed you jumped with this character at some part of the free demo.
That's
the thing.
Dave doesn't like me showing that. That was hacked in there, but yeah, I mean, the thing is, you want to make sure that you can use these characters in a very traditional way to make them the traditional games, but you also want a bit of this flavour as well. But you could make, somebody could make a game where the character control is much more traditional if they wanted to as well. But all the content that we make, we're going to be really capitalising on this.
I mean, it all depends on the creators and what they want, right? I mean,
exactly.
If someone doesn't want for one reason or whatever, for example, for his character to have motion, just to have movement, like the standard game movement,
exactly.
He can do that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And the thing is, we will sort of prepare templates for those things anyway, for all of the obvious types of things that people would want. But even if we don't cover everything, the community can make their own anyway. So. And what the second question was? Yes. So like I was saying a few minutes ago, at the moment I'm sort of steering this character by controlling its torso. If you imagine I switch to its hand, I can't do it at the moment, 10, and I'll be leading it by the hand. It's almost like the imp is on the end of the character's hand, so I'll be able to pick up anything that's within reach. That'll be the limitation if the character can't reach it. The imp has got a much more wider reach. Yeah, so I'll be able to walk up to the door and then just grab it with the character hand and open it.
Or, for example, a sword lying on the ground, you can pick up a sword and you can use it if theoretically possible.
And I mean, things like swords or weapons, you have to do an extra thing as well, which is like once you pick it up, it almost like docks into a code or something, so you don't have to keep hold it.
I mean, it's possible. It's in some kind of way you can do it. I mean,
exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so then afterwards you picked up this bubble, tree bubble, right? And then
yes. So this is this is us sort of really showing just a very simple version of this idea that we want to blend together the idea of creating and playing. So this would be somebody, the person that made this dream, decided I'm just going to give you these two simple objects in the scene, and the way that you place them is just it's doing an automatic thing here of like projecting it onto the ground that you're over. So again, you don't have to worry about that 3D thing.
You know what I like about this tree? I mean, the tree looks the same. I mean, it's the same object, but as you place it, because the style and the aesthetics of this like kind of expressionistic style, it doesn't have that feeling like it's the same tree being copied over and over. It feels like a forest with a distinct look.
Well, and I'll be even stamping it at exactly the same angle and size, but obviously, I can rotate it. Well, I can rotate it. I can rotate it by rotating the draw shot, or I can use the touchpad to rotate it even more.
Can you minimize it and make it larger?
I can make it.
Yeah, I like the open.
Like what was the name of the tree out of Avatar? What they all lived in? Mother tree. Or I can, even with this, I can sort of dictate it. Go, a smaller one there and make it a big one.
That's awesome. So basically, as you're placing sculpts, there is no like limitation. Like you can place this sculpt here because some other sculpt they just blend, and that's perfect. I mean, technical limitations don't go into the way.
But the important thing is though is that when you're the author or the dreamer of a dream, you can set limitations and rules if you want to. So we could have, for example, said, okay, we're only going to allow you to stamp trees on this particular hill over here. But at the same time, it's quite nice just to let people.
But for example, from the creation perspective, you are creating something like how it can be frustrating. Like this doesn't fit here. Like I can't push it. For example, in LP, then you have to like place some objects and everything. You have to glue them and it has to fit perfectly. Yeah. Like you wouldn't have such problems here. You just.
Well, we're actually going to do we should do a cake demo. So we're going to get super deep and do a whole placement.
Yeah.
I'm just saying we're going to get really deep.
I mean, just to sort of touch on what you're saying there, if I understand it right, it's it's something that Kareem was big on from the start, is this kind of 3D collaging essentially, and the ability to just intersect objects, and it's very free and kind of it's playful, and like you say, you're not like it's really interesting searching. Again, I'll show this in the collection, but it's interesting searching for objects, but then using them in completely different ways. You'll find like some huge sculpture that somebody's made that was intended to be this big monument, and then scale it down and use it as an earring on a character or something like that. Or Kareem often uses these trees for hair on characters.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, can we then pick up this house?
Yeah.
So we were.
And this is obviously a very interesting object. This one actually isn't just a dumb prop. It's actually got some functionality in it. It's got a link or a portal that goes to another level.
I was talking to Alex yesterday how this lighting, basically the light from these windows, I mean, it gives so much life. It's like someone is living in this house. You're somehow invited. Okay, what is inside? I mean, this is beautiful how it flashes inside. Okay, so now you enter the space, and then this happens. So this is like you wanted to represent how change from a dream to a dream will happen, right?
So I mean we've gone into a completely different dream here, and that was just one way that you can choose to visualise how you go from dream to dream.
So you can change it.
Yeah. Yeah. So what we didn't show there is we've got the idea of these things called mirages, which are like a sort of a much lighter version of a level that you can place into other levels, and then once you enter those, it loads the real level. So we could have actually put one of the mirages of this inside that shadow, and it would actually look like you're sticking into the thing. But that's something that we want to. This is an idea at the moment for our particular story. We're going to have this idea of a bright light being the guide of where to go next. Yeah. So that when you enter a dream, you see a bright light, so you know that's where you're supposed to be heading. It's a really simple analogy, and it's really.
But it works. Follow the light.
Well, and it's really hard to try and control, or with our designers at work, it's hard to get them to do what you want them to do. So the rules that we come up with have to be really simple, like
You move the character around when I talk to the people.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
I forget that.
some of the character.
Yeah.
Okay, but the transition. I mean, I know this is just like a representative, something that is still not in the exact process. But is that something that you are aiming to make, like the transitions to happen like in 2 seconds?
Absolutely. I mean, that's the speed of that
Yeah,
transition.
the speed of transition.
I mean, it was actually loading that from a server.
Oh, really? So it's the real transitions that people will experience in the game.
Yeah, that's the real deal.
Do you also play through while you're talking?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, no, it's cool.
Sorry.
I mean, like, no, talk. You're talking so well. Maybe it would be fun to have Anton just play the level while you're talking.
Yeah.
Because you guys are talking brilliantly. I don't want to stop you. Like, if Anton can play and then...
Yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely. I mean, you pointed this out in one of your analysis videos that if we really want to get that sensation of, moving in a lucid dream and going from place to place, you don't want to sit there and wait for 5 minutes while the next thing loads.
Yeah.
So, we put a lot of effort into making sure that doesn't happen. I mean, these models and sculptures and things obviously can be very complex, and if we were using traditional methods, they would be taking up huge amounts of memory.
Yeah.
But maybe when you see the sculpture, you'll see that the way you sculpt things is by sort of stamping primitives, essentially, that give you infinite shapes. But the point is, what we actually store and what we download is what you did to make that shape, not the actual shape itself. So if you make a character that's literally like 5 stamps, you've got like 5 instructions to download, which is nothing.
Okay, but
so that's the key to it, really. And we also make sure that we've always got enough room to sort of have more than one dream in memory at once anyway.
What do you mean about that? More than one dream in memory at once?
Well, like in the case of the garden and the shed, if you're near that shed, then we know there's a high chance that you might be going there, so we preload that, even though it's a small download anyway. Extra safe, and it's just already there in memory, so we can transition as quickly as we like.
Okay, so I mean, a lot of people are probably interested in this question, and I don't know if you can answer at this point because it always depends, of course. But for example, that library scene is like one mini dream.
Yeah.
Or this one, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Let's take that. Okay, let's take this one. So I'm just wondering, how big can dreams be? For example, how many of like places such as this can be made in one dream for it not to be like too big?
Yeah. So you can use all the traditional smoking mirrors that any other game would use. So there's the Mirage thing that I was talking about earlier on, which is in traditional game speak would be like LED models or something, I suppose. So you could have those placed around and actually make huge looking things that actually they're kind of fake bits of leather when you walk into them. But when they've got there, it's loaded the real one, and we do some clever transitions so you hardly notice it.
So people will be able to create like a huge space, like you explore, you just go boundless.
I mean, people there's a lot of people at the office that have created like big cities and things like this. It's just for our content so far, we've concentrated on a more kind of intimate, kind of theatrical kind of feel, just because that feels a bit more dreamlike in some ways.
I mean, the bike chase scene in the E3 demo was also pretty vast. I mean,
you can make stuff cheaper very easily. So one of the things we want to do is, if you run out of space, it makes it very easy to effectively come back in budget. So you can make it looser, and immediately the memory comes down. If it's memory that's the problem. So we try to always give you a way to solve your full thermometer in LBP language. Like if your thermometer is full, I don't know if we would call it a thermometer in dreams, but
it's the same principle.
It's the same idea, and the idea is that we then give you the tools to save yourself if you hit the limit, and it means that you can build huge worlds even without using the links. You can build huge worlds if they're loose. So, for example, the city in the beginning of V3, where the biker is going through, the characters are very tight, but actually the skyscrapers are loose. And it's cool because you don't need them to be tight. They're just like an impression of some streets and some cars. But actually in that scene, I think John, who built it, actually had little cars with lights on driving around. He had hundreds of cars.
Yeah, or you could use the same building a lot of times. Yeah. I mean, you could take this scene here, and spread it out. I think. I mean, there's no limit to how far apart you can spread out.
I could show some crazy scenery.
Yeah. Maybe let's go to create.
Okay, then as you're showing that.
Where is the mic? Is it on the actual computer?
Yes, on the computer. Okay. You need to cuddle up with your.
Oh, but I need the camera.
Oh yeah, so that's not the good thing. Well, I'll sit over the other side and lean on.
But it's okay. But we can. Okay, I will answer the question while you're going over there. Basically, I mean, we are seeing in dreams this kind of a look, which I mean, dreams are all happy. I mean, imps look happy and everything. But there is always this, and that's just the nature of dreams. I mean, they are somehow, they have this like bad, evil side to them, and those are like nightmares. So I'm just wondering, I mean, you created the LBP, which was basically, and Terraway, which were all like happy places and stuff like that. And so I'm just wondering, and I'm seeing, I mean, with all the stuff you're showing so far, that you also probably now try to search about this more demonic side of dreams. So I'm just wondering how you're approaching this. Is it inspirational to be able to like now approach places with like more darker tones and aesthetics?
Yeah, I think. I mean, I think like actual dreams, real dreams, we'll try and explore the complete wide range of you know, kind of emotions and feelings. That's the idea. But I think we want to keep it a family-friendly kind of thing. So we'll probably avoid, you know, hardcore pornography and like uber gore and things. But that's the sort of feelings that you can have in dreams. It would be a crime to not sort of explore that, and because of the graphics engine and this kind of impressionistic style that we can achieve, that does feel quite a bit more mature maybe than what we've done in the past. You can still do the fun fluffy stuff and all that, but it's nice that you can get a bit more kind of serious and mature. But,
I mean, it is definitely much wider scope than.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the thing that's really exciting is you can do such a wide range of styles in this actually. I mean, you know, Kareem especially is a big kind of advocate of the impressionistic loose style, and we all love it. There are some people in the office that are like, they just want to do like crisp, hardcore, shiny metal things, and you can do that as well. Personally, I think it works nice when you kind of have a mixture of two.
Yeah, I've seen those, for example, design of mix. I mean, in one E3 bubble, I mean, it was so detailed, and that was like the hard style of the.
Yeah, that would be John Beach. He's our mech man, basically.
And the bike was also, for example, so detailed and exact and crisp. And I mean, people don't have to be like creating this if they don't want to.
No,
they
exactly.
have the option.
It's that. I mean, we always want a dream from the start to be incredibly flexible. And I mean, the cool thing is as well when you do any of these sculptures, you can actually export them, if you like, and use them in a traditional package like Unity or something like this.
Okay,
so it's actually it's like a genuine, valid new tool to add to your toolbox of other creative tools that you might have.
Yeah, you mentioned that in an interview, and I was like mind blown. I mean, really, you can like. I still can't understand. So you create like sculptures in this, so which is like fully custom friendly, user friendly, and everything, and you just like transport them to other engines if you wish so.
Yeah. So a couple of people asked me about that on Twitter, and they asked what the exact workflow is, and we're still experimenting. But at the moment, the workflow is through the web. So basically, a little bit like lbp.me. Every dream gets a web page. And you have permissions on there, and if you have permissions, you can click download, and it just gives you a zip file of your dream as a model, which you can then use, and it's in like a very common format, so it's easy to import into anywhere. And that's how we're doing our 3D prints right now. There's another question, hang on. One thing I wanted to say while Anton is driving his Create demo, again, the user interface here isn't finished, so it's a placeholder, but it gives you a feeling of being able to just, it's interesting that what he's doing is he's searching by name. So you guys were talking about how different people are good at different things. And he was going to the Media Molecule team page and he's quickly calling up members of the Media Molecule team. If you watch this back on the stream, you'll see he's like, he knows that certain people are good at certain things. But the cool thing is you can also do text search, like tree or whatever. Well, okay, go and do a demo. But we
Okay.
found,
Oh,
we found that,
text
no,
search,
that's
yeah.
cool. We found that text search wasn't actually that exciting in the end, because what's really funny is you search for something and then you don't use it for what it was originally intended for. So you just see something that's cool and you go, actually I can scale it up and use it as a background, or I can use it as a button. You know, it doesn't really matter. So sometimes you just see something that catches your eye and it doesn't matter what it is or what it's called, you just use it anyway.
So this is like stuff that Menlu has made.
This is Menlu's page. He builds, well, ladybirds, it seems.
So you can take this ladybird, for example, and so Mark was talking about the difference in controls, and one of the, like if you're more like if you're the kind of person that sketches levels on grid paper and then kind of lays them out, and something like PS4 works really well, you have a flow and then you piece it out. With the moves, it feels a bit more like sketching. So like one of the things we could do is we do this relative zooming thing that we call. So no matter how much I zoom out, the ladybird just kind of changes size based on that. So it lets you be very sketchy. Like I've made this mountain move, so I could also grab this
Mega ladybird.
It's like a ladybird mountain. So this kind of thing, like Mark was saying, the simultaneous kind of movement and rotation lets you do this kind of sketchy thing really quickly.
So to block out a cityscape, we were talking, Anton and I, out of earshot, were like wondering how to show a sense of scale. As long as you keep it simple, you can actually. There's no limit to your thing. So
John Beach did the city, yeah.
Or maybe it was John Eckersley, but
yeah.
Johnny, I think, is
Johnny is the one who did the city.
probably there.
So you can go actually under John, and then from here we can do a search for something like
Building.
building.
Maybe.
You can just look around.
So all those objects will have tags, I see. So
yeah, we have tags and maybe use the pile of books.
Yeah, let's use the books. Yeah, perfect.
That's very Dreams, right? It's not intended to be used as a building, but now we can scale it different sizes and build a kind of background scene.
Then I could grab these things and I can group them together, and now it's kind of a new local dream.
And they don't have to be like connected to the group.
No.
Okay.
So, and we have this thing called clone tool, which is lets you clone this thing up.
Show the clones. Show the
full clone.
Show the full clone tool. That's just cloning one object at a time.
So you can clone one, but you could also just say how many clones you want, so I can very quickly
make a street.
Yeah. And
that's really fun when you sort of do the clone thing, but scale it and twist it or something. So
whatever you do, kind of it repeats it over and over again. So I can clone it. Obviously, the position rotation changes, but if I scale, it's going to make it like a mini city. Yeah, very quickly you can now, this is huge, right? From the perspective of where we started, this is like a tree, and you look up, and the city with books and each statue. Now we need to kind of rearrange.
Put a bigger scene now, so we can rearrange it.
You can.
Very frequent. Is there something you wanted to, Anton, you've been silently sculpting, is there something you wanted to talk about?
No, I mean, I think that just the big thing is, I think there's going to be, like Mark said, different styles of creation. Like this is a very sketchy, loose style where you just bring stuff in, you scale it however, you place it wherever.
And this is very easy for beginners, right? Because you don't have to feel like you can do great sculptures. You can just look up anything you want.
Yeah, so it's really good at basically on-the-fly creation. So, if we see stuff that kind of looks like a building, I'm like, actually, that might be a building. We can just kind of scale it up, add it here. And the reason that the simultaneous position rotation stuff is really powerful is it lets you kind of work off of your own creation. So by trying that out and saying, no, actually, I don't like that one. Maybe I'll do something. Oh, that looks cool. And kind of build off of it, etc., etc.
Can you then pick an object, one of those objects which was like previously placed, or does it become like glue?
No, you just grab that pick and have you can have another one of those. But the thing is, like now this kind of looks like a cactus. So you might say, oh, that's cool. So now kind of take this whole thing and say, group that. Now I have this cactus thing. And this is the sort of sketchy feeling that is harder to get when you're doing, for example, this analog stick kind of thing. So that method is very good for laying out something that you have in your head already. Like if you want to lay out a level and you sketch that out, you can sort of lay it out on, like Mark said, without a camera, with a camera, it doesn't matter.
We have a grid mode if you want that kind of thing.
Oh yeah. Show that as well. So go over here now. I think this thing wasn't
Presented as a group.
Yeah, we'll start in.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. The point is we have a
we have a grid.
Well, there's various guides and things if you want to use.
Yeah.
I could, the mirror. Should get
mirror?
maybe Kareem. You should give us an actual atomic sculpt something from scratch.
Yeah,
next time.
I can do it.
Okay, well, Anton, give us a sculpt.
I'll
give us a
So everything before was kind of scene assembly, which is pulling objects off the internet or off the server. But this is kind of how you
make those things.
How you make those things.
Yeah.
So Mark was saying is one of the simplest ways we have of creating is you just get a cube. You can stand with a cube. It's very straightforward.
And you can subtract with that as well.
Yeah.
Crucially, which is.
So you can kind of flip it, cut with it. But with this you have to be quite precise with this sort of thing because obviously the cuts are very rigid. But if we use the soft blend feature we have that Mark was talking about, you can actually make really cool organic shapes just by moving edits. So this is what he was saying. It's like you could do this with a converse export. Like you just move it around. Like, oh, that kind of looks like a neck. I think chickens are quite easy to split.
And you can subtract with that soft blend as well,
Yeah.
which is really interesting. So you end up like.
Yeah, I'll show you that.
The thing that this particular style of modelling really reminds me of is, as a child, you'd get the books that are like, learn how to draw Mickey Mouse, and you'd always be like, okay, it's just like, three circles and so you'll be able to have these like very simple master classes, like make this character in 7 easy steps. Just use.
Yeah,
I think that's something really kind of empowering about that.
But yeah, basically Mickey Mouse is something like soft blend spear.
Yeah, that's cool.
This is a mark. So this sort of soft style allows you to do these smooth shapes quite quickly. But the really kind of more unique thing, well, not unique, a very different style was this more harsh, smeary style. So you can just, this is what Mark is calling the band style of sculpture, because you can be very generous with it because the tech is very fast. So you can lay down a lot of clay quickly, and it doesn't look like much because it's just a mess of clay. But then you go in and you can cut through the same using this cylinder for cutting. And you can start to say, okay, well, I'm going to carve some eyes out. So we have a bigger cut. And you can sort of carve out a mouth, and you start to slowly get the shape of what you want.
Yeah. That's more akin to sort of chiseling away at something in my mind.
Yeah, and this allows for really highbrow stuff. And we have a lot of interesting techniques, like obviously the adding and cutting is one of them. But one interesting one we come up with is you can sort of spin these shapes. And this is very good for hair. So
But you can also add color. I mean, after the object was sculpted, right? You don't have to be sculpted in that color.
No, yeah, of course. So I can go in and I can go to the paint tool, for example, and get orange. Now I have an orange paint brush. It's a very solid orange. Right. You can go in and recolor parts of the skull.
And you can soft blend that color as well.
Soft blend that color so you can get really nice.
More airbrushy type.
Can you make it like not to be one type of color, but like I don't know, a texture which has like some kind of you painted something, and you are like pasting this type of.
Yeah, well, so there's the looseness thing where you can get the more textured things, but what we've avoided using sort of like traditional texture maps and things like that. We prefer that you just kind of paint it because there's something a bit more understandable in it.
And you get a lot of.
We should hover on this point for a second. So that slider is absolutely key.
Look at that. That is awesome.
It's super cool, especially when you go to the looser end. It can make a quite simple sculpt into something really unique and special. So you did it very quickly. Let's go back to the looser slider and you can make it looser. Right, so that's the super loose end and the tight, and you can just change for every level, even whether you made it or someone else made it. You can
Yeah,
change
why
the
don't I-
looseness.
Talk about. I'll demo something really quick. So I'll do a head as
Yeah.
one sculpt, and then I'll do a loose one.
Yeah.
Use hair or something.
I think this is really unique to Dreams. And then the second thing I was going to show you, which I'll show you in a minute. At the moment, we don't have icons for it in the UI, but basically we have different presets where you can control the texture of this button. So you can control, like, does it look like hair? Does it look like moss? Does it look like different kinds of crazy abstract
Just kind of
painting?
loose stuff.
So Anton's making a sculpt here, and he actually doesn't worry too much about what it looks like. If this is a traditional engine,
I can see a bit of Doom Boy.
you'd be worrying a little bit. You'd be worrying a lot more about the individual shapes. But the idea of Dreams is you just don't worry. You just have fun. You just muck around. Because especially if you know that you're going to go loose, and you can even sculpt while it's loose as well, because choosing to sculpt tight.
Yeah, and the reason for that is I'll do the head block out kind of, and I'll go in and I'll use that technique that I just showed you to do a bit of hair. Probably color it up and green hair. Perfect. And you can see that the paint doesn't affect the sculpt because we're kind of individually sculpting on just this bit. So then I can take this hair and I can kind of crank it up, and now I have something that combines both the tightness of the face and the looseness of the hair. And these are, right now for this demo, we just did a bunch of presets, so you can kind of see what they look like in the game. But obviously, I think Alex did like a very extensive tech demo version of this show.
That's a nice one.
Yeah.
You'll have a lot of control over this in later builds, but in this build we just have presets. But under the hood, there's actually like many options and settings and choices, and so you can actually get a lot of the character of your model can actually come not from the sculpting, but from the choice that you use, the choices you use to make it loose. It's a cool cloud. It is a cool cloud.
Animated.
Animation.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So one of the things we didn't show is how we animate this, various things in Dreams, and it's actually really easy. Are you ready? You hit record. I think around it. Around. Carry one. So any operation you can do in Dreams, all you do is you hit record, you do the operation again, and that's.
Okay, I have one question regarding recording and animation. Basically, when you record something to animate, and you want to be like more complex, like you want to record it to like, I don't know, 5 minutes,
Yep.
and you make a mistake like on the 4th minute.
Yeah.
Will it be necessary for you to repeat the recording for whole 5 minutes? Or
No.
will you somehow be able to enter the...
No, I spend a lot. I spend a lot of time at home making music actually, and there's a lot of analogies that you can draw from that. Like I'll play the guitar for a 3-minute song and make a mistake at the last bit, and you do not want to play the whole thing again. Sometimes you might want to, just so you don't lose the flow, but very common technique, which has long been used, and that is the concept of punching in. So you just choose to, on that, you go find your mistake, the bit that you don't like, and just re-record that bit. So yeah, that would just be cruel.
Yeah,
If you've just recorded your 2-hour performance and you just mess it up in the last minute, that would be really cool. But that idea of performing is we definitely lean more towards that than we would traditional keyframing and sort of messing around with curves and things. It's because of the speed of it, you do become much less precious. So if it's a fairly short animation, it is actually quite cool just to have another go at it.
So you showed in the PS4 reveal, for example, multiple people were like recording, animating stuff like that. So I'm just wondering now that multiplayer aspect could also be fun. I mean, for example, at home or people online, they could also at the same time like be recording some kind of a play. Like you take one take at the same time.
Exactly. I mean, that's the thing. If you've got a particular performance in mind or a play, you can all choose your actor and have your lines and your script and then just perform it out, or obviously just make it up as you go along, which is
I mean, it's totally cool. Like people online, like all different parts of the world, and each one is like recording the movement. They're creating some kind of a play. That sounds awesome.
And then you could make that play, or let's say you recorded the performance of a a pretend band or something, you could then use that as something to put into the bar scene of a game. So you'd walk into this room in your game, and there's a little band playing on the stage, which was this 5-minute performance that you all performed together. So it's,
Okay, let's do community questions time, I think. So Anton, we're gonna wrap up the demo. Cool. Thank you, everybody, and thank you, Igor. Thanks, fantastic. There is Mark. Are you on camera?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's actually pretty well lit, to be honest with you, for some reason. Why? Now it feels all like horrible and hospitally.
You want the lights on?
Very
Yeah, go cozy again. Yeah, that's good. I think the camera's just got like some sort of good light sensitivity.
Okay. So we've got some questions from Twitter that I picked out earlier.
Right.
Let's start with Jamie Reed, who does 3D art. So being able to export creations out to Unity, Unreal, etc. is awesome. Can you explain the pipeline of how this works?
Well, Alex touched on that earlier on. I mean, the current pipeline is via a website. So you go to dream.me.
Yeah.
You automatically have your own page.
Yeah.
Which is, you can use as just
Kind of
another way.
saves everything
You
on there.
can see all of the things that we created on there.
Yeah.
And from there, you can just choose to save it as an appropriate file format.
Yeah. And then from there you can go on.
Exactly.
Awesome. So once you've made it, how do you assign animation to a character?
So the bipeds that you saw us use with the two-legged characters that you saw us using in the stage demo, it's as simple as grabbing a bit of a character and moving it, and we do we do a lot of things automatically for you to take the boring bits out of animation.
Yeah.
But we don't want you to sit there and animate the feet. Which
you can kind of loop it.
You can. I mean, you can if you want to. You can go in there and actually place the feet exactly how you want.
Yeah.
But we also realise that if I want to sketch out a story, I just want to grab him and move him over there, and I want his legs just to work. And you've got to tweak things like their stride length and how far apart their legs are. But on top of that, just the way that you move and perform really is a big part of the animation style.
Yeah, and so is all the animation done through motion controls, or can you use the?
No, you can use
sticks,
in the demo that we did at the Sony press conference. It was a combination of using sticks and the gyros and the tracking. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. For the clown.
Sorry, on that animation thing, by the way, that it's not just characters. Obviously, you can animate anything in the world.
Yeah.
And like Anton was just showing, we've showed you how easy it is to move objects in the world. And the way you animate is you move them with the record button.
Right. Okay. Cool. Do you think that collaboration will play a bigger role in Dreams than in LBP?
Yeah, I think it will, because in Little Big Planet, that was very much kind of based around sharing entire levels, really.
Yeah.
I mean, people could make individual assets and kind of hide them in their levels and different like that, but we didn't really kind of facilitate it from the ground up.
Yeah.
Whereas in Dreams, we do. You can share everything from an entire dream to a single sculpt, to a piece of music, to a piece of logic.
Yeah.
Because we realise that some people will specialise in particular areas. There's going to be, there's going to be Kareem, who's the master at these particular types of sculptures,
and then
someone else
flowers
or somebody that specialises in making awesome sound effects.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I mean, someone like me, I like to. I like to have a go at everything, but I realise that I'm not as good as everyone.
Yeah.
So,
and I like to do music.
Yeah, but some people do really like to just specialise in one area, and so we've really made sure that it's easy to find all of those things, and the collaboration thing is really what we're trying to encourage in Dreams more than anything else.
I know you touched on it earlier, but with multiplayer, you can do online, it can be local co-op as well.
Yes, you can have multiple imps in the same scene.
So it means you're sitting together in the same room.
Yeah. I mean, certainly when you're playing through the story that we make and the adventure, having kind of that couch play, it automatically is a 10 times 10 on the fun factor.
Yes, definitely. I'm a big fan of local co-op.
Yeah, I love. I mean, we learned from Little Big Planet how much fun that was.
Yeah. Just getting together.
Yeah, and you're kind of I love that interplay that you get of like, okay, you're cooperating and you're in a team, but you can also have a little bit of competition and mess each other up. There's a really nice dynamic there. So.
Nice. So is there a campaign like LVP story mode, or is Dreams 100% community driven? If
No.
there is a campaign, what genres will it explore?
So the stage demo that we did
Yeah.
is a little teaser taster of what that campaign would be like, I think. But because Dreams is so flexible and so versatile, the story that we make serves multiple purposes. One of them is it's an excuse for us to make a game, because that's what we love doing. The other one is to kind of kickstart, if you like, and inspire people and sort of say, well, look, here's some examples of things that you can make. So, on that point, we obviously want to make sure that we cover a few obvious bases. So there'll probably be like some kind of sort of main path, if you like, where we stick to probably a similar mechanic. It's going to be the dynamic between the characters and the imps and going to different characters, etc., etc. But along the way, we want to make sure that we sow the seeds for like, well, you can make an 80s arcade game, or you can make a racing game, or you could make a user-created content game if you want. You could actually make, you could make something where you're stamping blocks and So we'll make sure that we sow the seeds for that really obvious sort of genres and things that we can make with our twist on it. But the really exciting thing is that because of the flexibility of it, you can invent your own genre. Really, that's the thing. I want someone to invent a new game that's never been done before. And it's all possible. So.
And can you explore Dreams just with your imp? Do you have to be possessing pets?
No. I mean, it depends what the person has made in that particular dream.
Right. Okay. And how they
decided
to.
You could make a dream where the first thing that happens when you go into that dream is you're in a car.
Right.
And you can explore that dream in a car. Maybe that's a racing game, or maybe it's some Mad Max type scenario. I don't know. But you can also make dreams where you only have the imp.
Okay. Because that's what people are asking.
Like the very first scene in our demo, actually, where you've just got the imp and the shapes.
And you're pulling the ball around.
So you could make a whole 20-hour epic saga that's just about going through the imp and just kind of manipulating tactile puzzles and things like that.
I think people really quite interested in that, and sort of just going around and feeling everything, and poking around.
Well, I particularly love that sort of touchy feeling. And because of what you get with that kind of interaction, it's really intuitive. It's a game that did that really well recently on the iPad was The Room. So I love all that kind of stuff. So I'm very keen for us to get an element of that into our. We'll probably not go quite so hard, if you like. Because I tend to get stuck in those kind of things. I have to look online for the solution. So we probably focus more on the sort of tactile fun side of things.
Hello. Oh, one more.
No, that's just like we should wrap up on the hour. So
wrap up on the hour.
Chat stream. Now's your moment for last minute questions, and Alex is going to pick a couple of winners. But carry on, just so you know, Quantic.
Are they?
Well, no, they aren't. But I feel like we've outstayed our welcome. We outstayed our
been
welcome.
here for quite a while.
They haven't knocked on the door. They're leaving us here.
The lights are off.
The lights are off.
They turn the lights off.
Maybe they're all going to go home.
Cool. Okay, last question then. Can you elaborate on the electronics and logic system? How does it work? How similar is it in implementation to LVP?
So we're using what we did in LVP as a kind of starting point, if you like.
Okay. Right.
We're going to improve it, and we've learned from some mistakes there, but there's also some things about it that are very good. So there is something very similar to that, but it's more applicable to kind of 3D environments and things. And there is actually, I won't talk about that. There's something about it that I really love to say, but I won't. I might get told off. But it's really cool.
Cool. And how many?
And the important thing there is that there is a system that enables you to, essentially code. So you can imbue this logic in the objects that you share. So if you want, you could make a game just by searching for objects that people have made. Like I want a tank that you can possess with you and can steer around. I want some zombies that are going to walk towards my tank. I place those in and I've made a game without having to actually do any logic myself.
So it's kind of done that.
Again, some people would specialise in that kind of stuff. So.
How many level limits can there be in a dream? Like how many?
Or
is that sort of yet to be decided?
I'm not aware of there being a technical limit.
So you could literally just keep going.
I mean, I clearly I don't know if anybody's ever read a book called Snow Crash. It's quite a famous science fiction. It's basically about a kind of a virtual world that people go and sort of live in. It starts off as like a single street that people start building.
Oh, okay, it gets bigger.
So you could make that. So you could make a street and just put lots of links that are like that look like houses, but actually go into other worlds.
Yeah, so they then go into another link.
It's like they are very similar to links on the internet. You know, it's like asking how many links can I put on a page of a website.
Yeah.
You could make every word a link if you really wanted to.
Yeah.
Cool.
But it might not.
Should we wrap it up? Or
Yeah,
do
I
we
think
have
so,
yeah.
thank you.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining us on the stream.
Yeah, thank you, and thanks to Ivor for his
Shall I turn this
probing
around and everyone
questions.
can see?
Thanks everyone, and Evo. Oh, the gaming camera, yeah. And thank you, Quantic, for hosting us on the stream. You were lifesavers, otherwise I don't think this would have happened. So thank you, Guillaume, thank you, David, and everyone at Quantic. And thank you, Twitch viewers. Shout about the stream if you enjoyed it, and you'll encourage us to do more. I think we've decided behind the scenes we're going to do a Kareem show special, which is just going to be amazing. I've already decided. So Kareem special coming soon. Tune in on Fridays. We'll try and always have something for you, sometimes bigger, sometimes smaller. And I hope you're excited about Dreams. We are. And thanks again. And à bientôt, as they say in Paris. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.